The common room of the psychiatric ward was unusually quiet today. Even the hum of fluorescent lights seemed softer, almost reverent. He sat alone at a table, his hands trembling slightly against the cold metal surface. Today was his 18th birthday. He shouldn't be here, he thought. This place was for people who'd lost control of their minds, people far worse off than him. His parents said it was just temporary, that they'd brought him here to help him with his panic attacks after he collapsed during his college entrance exams. But deep down, he felt abandoned. The medication they gave him didn't seem to be helping. If anything, it made things worse. The trembling in his hands never went away, and his skin felt fragile, dry, like paper. Side effects, the doctor had said, completely normal. But what 18-year-old had to deal with this? Every time he stared at his reflection in the bathroom mirror, the pale, tired face staring back didn't feel like his own. The staff had been kind, though. They'd arranged a small surprise, a chocolate cake with white frosting, and 2 candles, 1 and 8, standing tall in the centre. The moment they brought it out, his chest tightened. Something about the candles felt wrong. The nurses sang Happy Birthday, their voices echoing uncomfortably in the sterile room. He smiled politely but didn't join in. When the song ended, they urged him to blow out the candles. His breath came in short bursts as he leaned forward, extinguishing the tiny flames with a single puff. Applause followed, but it sounded distant, hollow. "Make a wish," Nurse Emily said, her tone too cheerful. He glanced at her white uniform crisp and clean, her eyes too kind. He hesitated. "I don't really know what to wish for." "That's okay," she replied softly. "You deserve a good day, just this once." Her words clung to him, heavy and uncomfortable. He tried to focus on the cake, but the candles kept drawing his attention. 18. It felt off, like it wasn't his number, like it never had been. After the cake, Nurse Emily led him to his routine checkup. He hated the blood draws. The needles always left bruises that seemed to take forever to fade. As he sat in the chair, he noticed his hands again, wrinkled and paper-thin, the veins pronounced against his pale skin. He clenched them into fists, trying to hide them. "All right, let's see if we can find a good vein today," Emily said, wrapping a tourniquet around his arm. Her brows furrowed as she tapped his arm. Then she moved to his other arm. Finally, she sighed. "I'm sorry, sweetie, your skin just doesn't cooperate like it used to." "What do you mean?" he asked, his voice sharper than intended. "I'm fine. It's just the anxiety meds, isn't it? They make my skin weird, right?" Emily froze for a moment, then offered a sympathetic smile. "Of course. It's just your skin bruises easily. That happens sometimes when we get older." "What are you talking about?" he asked, his voice rising. "I'm 18. I shouldn't have skin problems." She didn't respond immediately. Instead, she gently removed the tourniquet and began tidying up. "You had a big day today. Maybe some rest will help." "No," he said, his voice cracking. "Tell me." Emily hesitated, her kind eyes scanning his face. "Sweetheart, today is your birthday, but it's not your 18th. You're 81. His breath caught. The room seemed to tilt. "No, that's not true. It can't be." "It is," she said gently. "Sometimes, with dementia, it's hard to hold on to certain memories. You've been here a while, but we try to celebrate your birthdays to keep your spirits up. You seemed so excited about the candles." His mind reeled. The candles. The 1 and the 8. He suddenly remembered Nurse Emily correcting the order when they brought the cake in. It hadn't been 18. It had been 81. "No," he whispered, his voice barely audible. "That's not right. That's not me." Emily rested a hand on his shoulder, her touch warm and steady. "It's okay to forget sometimes. That's why we're here, to remind you." He wanted to argue, to deny it, but the weight of her words settled over him like a heavy blanket. His hands trembled as he looked down at them, the wrinkles, the age spots. The truth stared back at him in the reflection of the sterile steel tray on the table. 81. Not 18. The candles had been right after all. A while later, he shuffled back to the common room, still holding on to fragments of the truth that refused to settle. He sat near the window, watching the grey sky. "Mind if I join you?" came a soft voice. He turned to see Mary, a 78-year-old patient he often saw around. Her smile was warm, her hands steady as she held a knitting project. "Sure," he said, forcing a smile. They sat in companionable silence for a moment before she asked, "Did you enjoy your birthday?" His expression brightened, the fragment slipping away. "Did you know? It's my 18th birthday today?" Mary's brow furrowed for a brief second before her smile returned. "Well, happy birthday, young man."